out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. And it is 0 Dark 30. A little bit of a late start doing some work at home in the old home base, if you know what I'm saying. Right? You got to have that home base, the place to work from. Well, it's also a place to mentally prepare from, because once you step out here, folks, into the wider world, we are visited by some of the greatest stupid that has ever existed. Folks, there's an acceleration that is occurring, and it's to be expected. It's to be expected. We know that they are panicking, absolutely panicking out there. Who is they? It is the Democrats. It is the Rhino Republicans, who are together the uniparty. Right? They want to bring this country down. They're doing it. They're following a plan. The plan is laid out. And there's going to be a fight over America, over our lives, our rights, our country. And it is dire. It's not a joke. It's not a game. This is real. It is real. It is on us now. Right? They've told us. I mean, look at how serious they are about these fruitcakes out here. Look at how serious they are about violating our rights. No longer do they even have a decent excuse for what they're doing. They just say, we don't like your Constitution. We don't like your rights. We completely, right, disregard them. It is just, it's an incredible fiasco. Now, the acceleration. We saw it in 2020. And I don't think any of us were expecting it. Not the way it turned out, certainly. You can expect some trouble here, some trouble there, a little bit of chaos, maybe, some protests that get out of hand, but not what happened in 2020. Not the terrorization of America by leftists, only to have the media say they're mostly peaceful. Well, it's already begun here. It's not even 2024. They're starting it in 2023. They're they don't even want Trump to start campaigning, even though he has. They don't want him to even start. His momentum is already too great. His polling is already too strong and good. They need to stop Trump now. So they're going to, and already have, indicted him. That starts this week. Where this goes from here, folks, where this goes from here is hard to say, because people are becoming very passionate and about freedom and liberty, and they ought to become very passionate, because this is the real deal. This is the game. The acceleration, folks, in everything is going to increase. Now, when people argue, when people have differences, let's start with calling them differences. When people have differences, what do? Well, you look to the rules to help settle the difference. Man, when there's a dispute, how do you settle a dispute? Well, you ask everyone to be reasonable, to use their best thinking, right? And people can decide, for themselves. Oh, yeah, this is the right way. Everyone knows what is right and correct and should be done. And when that's not possible, where do you go? Well, you look to historical precedent, and people can decide for themselves what is right and wrong. And when they don't agree on that, then you go to the courts to settle this difference. And you say, Mr. Courtroom, please fix this problem. We have a disagreement. We have a difference. We have a dispute. We can't decide for ourselves. We need you to help us figure this out. So the court gives a decision. and people with strong beliefs who are not, who don't see eye to eye, who don't agree with each other, still have a dispute, have an argument, and are now ready and willing to fight over it. That's where we're at, folks. You and I know what's right and wrong, basically. It's not hard to figure out. There are rules. The rules are moral, the rules are legal. We know what they are. You can feel it in your bones. The dispute has continued. The acceleration and frustration in actions, it's right on the periphery, right? We've gone to the law, right? We've gone to the courtrooms, and the fight continues because it's not settled. There's going to be an acceleration. In 2020, it didn't even go to the courtrooms. It just broke out into the streets in violence. And it was allowed. It was justified. Right? They didn't, it was justified for the one side. Yeah, this is just fine. That kind of behavior, that kind of action, that's okay. What happens when that occurs again, folks? And you have one side that is just absolutely committed to the most awful thoughts and behavior. And you have the other side who's committed to their belief systems and their morality. Well, that's what we're going to get, folks. That's where shit really goes sideways bad. That is, right, the Mad Max scenario that we've all feared. Is it going to happen over this? Is America, are the people of the United States of America, are they angry enough to take action, to deal with the fruitcakes, to deal with the lawlessness? Are they angry enough over it? Do you believe for a second that if serious violence were to break out, what we'll call SHTF hotspots, where partisan conflict ensues, if that occurs, do you think the federal government will back off and say, yeah, I guess we were wrong? Or do you think the federal government will say, I don't care? Right? See, the federal government is the source of the agenda. They're the ones who have laid it out. They're the ones who have set forth. They're the ones who have agreed with it. They're the ones who have empowered groups to cause trouble. So I think that the federal government will allow the violence. It'll condemn it. It'll use its propaganda, its media, to say who the good guys and the bad guys are. It'll do all that, of course, because, you know, Uncle Biden knows best. But what will Americans think? I mean, what will Americans think? Now, one last thing before we conclude this acceleration discussion, and I'll ask the question, are you ready? Are you prepared? Where are these people at? You see, it's like the government building. How do you deal with the government when there's no one in the building? When they say, hey, just don't go to work today. People are being violent. You can't change a building. A building doesn't make anything happen. It's the people that enforce these rules and have them inside. Where are the bad guys? These left-wing, absolute, off-their-rockers lunatics, where are they? How do you find them? How do you hold someone accountable who won't come out? Who won't reveal themselves? You know, all of those scumbags who assaulted people, committed arson, committed murder, looted. They just went back into their little caves, under their rocks, under their bridges, and hid. They went away, didn't they? They hide. They won't tell you who they are and what they did. When shit hits the fan big time and it's go time, don't expect them to come out and say, here I am, come and take care of me. What do you think? What's the answer? What's the solution? What's the action that needs to be taken? How will we know? Lots of questions, folks. The answers are going to make themselves apparent for us. The answers will make themselves apparent. None of it will be easy. It won't be fun. It's going to be very ugly. It's best to be prepared for all of that. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Semper Fi. God bless America.